In this lecture, we will discuss the line chart. A line chart is used to display a line to connect data points to show changes in value over a period of time. It is also used to compare changes between two groups over a period of time. Let's see how we can create a line chart. So first, we will click on the line chart. Now we can increase the size of the line chart. These are the fields name of the line chart: x-axis, y-axis, secondary axis, legend, small multiples. X-axis of the line chart is always represents time, and y-axis of the line chart always represents the value. So if we want to see the sales trend over a period of time, we will drag the sales rate on x-axis and the sales amount on y-axis. Now we will simply go to the sales order table, and from here we will drag the sales rate on x-axis and the sales amount on y-axis. By default, this line chart is showing that sales trend over the year. Now we will simply click on the drop down, and from here we will change it to sales rate. And now this line chart is showing the sales trend over the sales rate. And now if you want to see the sales trend over a month for a particular year, then you will simply remove this sales rate from x-axis, and I will again drag the sales rate, and now we'll remove year, quarter and day. Now we can see the sales trend over the year, but this information is not meaningful because it's this January month comprised of all the years. If we want to see the sales trend for a particular year, then we will have to use the slicer. So simply click on the slicer. Now on slicer, we will drag the sales rate and we will convert it in hierarchy. And now we will only select the year and remove rest of this. And now we can see we only have the year in the slicer. So we can simply select any of the year. So if I want to see the sales trend for a particular year, say 2022, so I will simply select it. And this is the sales trend over the month for a particular year, say 2022. If I change the year to 2021, the sales trend over the month is changed accordingly. So this is how we can see the sales trend over the month for a particular year. You can see that we have secondary y-axis also as a parameter. Let me explain you the use of the secondary y-axis. So for all the charts, we have only single y-axis, but for this line chart and the area chart, we can have two axes. This is the primary axis, and we can have the secondary y-axis as well. On primary axis, we have already taken the sales amount. For example, if I want to see the uh, trend of unit price over the year, and I want to see the trend of sales amount, so we want two axes. On one axis, we want the sales amount, and the another axis, we want the unit price. So we will simply drag the unit price on secondary axis. Okay, we can see we have one more axis, and we can see we have two trend lines. This line belong to the sales amount, and the blue line belong to the unit price. It's very important to note that if you want to observe the sales trend over the sales amount, then we will look at this axis. And if you want to see the trend of unit price over the month, then we will consider this axis. So this is how on a single chart we can display two axes. On one side we have sales amount, and the other side we have the unit price. And the same way we have two lines that display both the values accordingly. Now if you want to compare the sales generated by each region over a period of time, then we can simply use the legend. So we will go to the region table, and from there we will drag the region on legend. And we can see that we have separate line for each region. It will help us to compare the sales generated by each region over a period of time. And if you want to compare the sales of specific regions for a particular year, then we can simply select the slicers. We only have the year slicer. Let's have one more slicer for region. I'll drag region in the slicer. So now if I want to see the sales trend of Northeast and Northwest for the year 2022, then I will simply select 2022 in the year, and then from here I will select Northeast, France and Germany. So this is how we can use the line chart and we can compare the values over a period of time. Now the next chart we would like to discuss is the area chart. Simply select the area chart and just resize. So the area chart is useful to highlight the trend of different groups with different colors. On x-axis, we will have the time series. On y-axis, we can have the values. So we'll simply drag the sales rate on x-axis and I will convert it to the sales rate. And on the y-axis, we will simply drag the sales amount. There is no such difference between the area chart and the line chart until unless we use the legends. And now we can see that this is our area chart and it has occupied the region and showing the values with a particular color. And now if you want to show the trend of region for this year over the month, then we will simply drag the region on the legend. And now we can see that each region on the area chart is showing with the different colors. Now we can simply use the slicers to compare specific regions over the period of time. So just select the slicer and drag the region of the field. The, the area chart shows the value with different colors. For this scenario, this portion is for France and the blue portion is showing the values for Germany over the period of time. So this is how we can use the line chart as well as the area chart to compare the trend of values over the period of time.